Good morning from Stuttgart, Germany. This morning I got up before the sun and I took the train from Paris to Stuttgart. And I thought it might be a little bit helpful to explain how to take the train from Paris to Germany. Now this was my first time doing it, but the process was actually really easy. And if you do a little bit of planning, you're gonna have nothing to worry about. First thing to realize, wherever you are in Paris, or whenever you're going to a train station, you obviously need to figure out how long it's gonna take you to get to the station. This morning I woke up particularly early, around 4:30, and when I checked my Google Maps app, it said it was gonna take me 73 minutes in order to get to the station. That was because the metro lines didn't open until about 5:30. Thankfully, the train that I had booked didn't leave until about 6:50, so I had plenty of time. The great thing about taking a train as opposed to the plane is there's no security, you don't have to go far outside the city. Once you're there at the station, you can pretty much get on the train within 5 minutes. So just to give you a little bit of context, my train this morning left out of Gare de l'Est, which is on the east side of the city. Thankfully, the designers of the Paris Metro thought about getting to all of the major stations, and there are a bunch of lines that run to all of them. Once you arrive at the station, it's actually pretty straightforward. There are a bunch of boards everywhere with all the upcoming trains and times. But similar to just about every train station in the world, they don't actually announce the track number until a few minutes before you're about to depart. Thankfully, if you get there early, there are plenty of places to go spend your money and get a little food in your stomach. So just hang tight, find some food, and sit near one of the boards and wait until your track is announced. On the vast majority of the international trains, you have an assigned seat. So check your ticket for both the carriage number and the seat number to find out where you need to go. Again, similar to most train stations in the world, once the track number is announced, there's a mad rush over to the track. The train's not gonna leave until the actual time that it says, so if you're not in that initial rush, don't worry. Thankfully, the process is fairly digitized, so if you have your ticket either on your phone or in paper, it's just the scanning of a QR code and you're on the train. Interestingly, this morning, my QR code didn't scan at one of the stiles. And when that happens, there's normally an actual physical human there to check tickets as well. I simply walked over to the lady, she looked at the date and time of the train, said I was all good to go, and I just walked straight on. Now, after you pass the initial gate, you should be looking at the side of the train to find the carriage number. I'm assuming you've already checked your ticket and you know which carriage you're in. So obviously, just enter the one corresponding to the number on your ticket. Once you're actually on the train, you're going to want to look up above the seats to find the seat numbers. And there's normally a pretty clear distinction between which one is the window seat and which one is the aisle seat. This particular train wasn't necessarily the most comfortable train I've ever been on, but it's definitely better than your standard airline seat. Once you find your seat, sit back, relax, and just wait until you get to your destination. The train is so easy. There's normally a food car, you can stand up, you can walk around, and to me there's just something fun about high-speed rail. Next thing I knew, I was being whisked off to Germany, took a nice little nap, had a nice table, did a little bit of work, and just after 10 a.m., I arrived in my destination, walked straight off the train, smack into the center of the city. Nothing better than that. So the process of taking the train from France to Germany, pretty straightforward. Because you're already in Europe, odds are no one's gonna check your ID or passport or anything of the sort. They're just gonna check your ticket and you can get on your way.